Hello everyone, and please join me in this character appraisal of Akane Tsunemori from the anime Psychopaths. I shall go through what I like and dislike most about the crime inspector and consider all of these points as a whole to come up with a letter grade. Psychopaths is an anime where the world turns on people's emotions and psychological status. These are categorized into colors and numerical rankings called crime coefficients, collectively called psychopaths. The darker your psychopath's color or the higher your crime coefficient, then the more likely you will be labeled a latent criminal, and you could go to jail or even be killed for it. These determinations are made by a computer system called the Sybil system, through guns called dominators, only held by crime inspectors and their subordinates called enforcers.
It's a gun that reads the psychopaths of the target you're aiming at. The safety's only released when it registers the target as a latent criminal. All you gotta do is follow the Dominator's commands. If it says shoot, then shoot.
The system also determines your career path and life plan. Throughout the story, we follow Akane Tsunemori, who is a freshly graduated inspector who has to integrate into the system and prove her worth while learning the ropes and solving crimes in the city, and all of these seem to be connected in some sinister way. Akane Psychopaths is never clouded, and for all the right reasons. She has a very flexible psychology and one I would consider the ideal in the society of psychopaths. She does not simply go with the flow or get swept away, nor does she try to stop or divert the flow either, or even swim upstream. She is a character who accepts her surroundings and blends in with them as they change, while keeping her overall principles and outlook on life intact.
Maybe I'm just thick-skinned.
This can be seen by the fact that she learns to think like a criminal, and yet her psychopath remains clear. Unlike most other characters who change fundamentally, for the worse usually, when they wade into unknown territory. Her outlook on society and the world as it is in the anime is of one who was born into it. She trusts in the system in as much as it is all she has known. It works for her and she attempts to make it work for others. She believes people can be saved even when their crime coefficient is deemed too high to be cured by the system. Her faith in humanity is inspiring, as she sees hope in all situations, even for latent criminals who are feared and spurned by society. This outlook is seen as very naive and foolish by her peers, but when looked at from another perspective, this supposed weakness is a strength. Not only is she willing to explore new ways of thinking, but she adjusts them to her own standards and experiences while trying to bring everyone else she encounters along. Akane chose to become an inspector because she felt she could make a difference in society. She did not want to be any other old plain Jane. She wanted something that would be fulfilling and keep her intrigued while allowing her to be most useful to her fellow man. This ambition of hers goes beyond the boundaries of her world and her understanding of it, but she is willing to explore and learn new things to achieve it. While the Sybil system controls other people's fates and even her own, she has her own independent judgment and sees the Dominator primarily as a gun, and not some omnipotent being whose rule is absolute. When she points her gun, she feels the responsibility for her actions, which is why she will not pull the trigger when she knows it will be lethal. She understands that the Sybil system uses a separate judgment criteria from her own, and she accepts that. However, she breaks the rules by following them, in that she would rather change someone's way of thinking to fit that which the Sybil system will deem clean and capable of redemption than forcefully change the system itself. She finds her way around the system and highlights its weaknesses in a constructive rather than destructive manner. She is actually the most unique character in the entire series, as she is rebellious in this way and she has her own approach to life that is different from the rest of society. Akane seems to be a reserved and unassuming character, but she has a surprisingly sociable personality, and you wouldn't know it from just looking at her. She has a friendly air about her, and she can be quite adventurous, seen in the people she hangs out with, what she is willing to do with them, and actually enjoy it. Not that she does anything outrageous, but she is not beyond worldly distractions, such as...
Is there a reason you keep staring at me?
No, sorry.
And the girl can take her liquor, even if she did not know it was for drinking in the first place.
That's for drinking? Not for breathing fire?
It must also be mentioned that her preferences for certain things are also highlighted, and we are shown what a playful personality she has, such as when she changes outfits or her online avatar. The only problem I had with Akane was that she got overshadowed by events and other characters, such as her partner Kogami and the main antagonist. The focal point was really the study of society and the two ideals represented by the characters I just mentioned. It is a bit too late when Akane does enter the stage, and even though she proves her worth, it may take more than a single watch of the series to really appreciate her role. Her usually reserved demeanor and talk also compounds this and does not allow her to really shine as she should. All in all, she is what I would call a perfectly understated heroine and not the conventional kind of powerful or intelligent. She might not have all the flourish and oomph of the typical badass female character, but I still consider her as such. She is the answer that we never get from these kinds of stories that usually leave the solution of our psychological and governmental progression up in the air. She shows that it is not stressing out or feeling depressed that the Sybil system uses to determine crime coefficients, but probably the thoughts and actions that such stress evokes. Ironically, this also shows the accuracy of the system, and that criminals will always be present in society, but it is how they are discerned and handled that really matters. However, even with all these great things about her, Akane has most of her thunder stolen by the story itself and other characters that seem more involved in the events than she is. Because of this, I give her a B-,
No fair.
which I bumped up from a C+, as I feel that regardless of her weaknesses, she still managed to leave a lasting impression. What's your view on her? And those are my thoughts on Akane Tsunemori, people. I do hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. Thanks for watching, and comment below with suggestions for upcoming videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more character appraisals. Until we meet again, I am Zakes, and take care.